What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to be giving you guys another 5 tips on becoming a better high school filmmaker. And this do apply to all beginner filmmakers, but it's more specific for high school filmmakers. Alright, so tip number 1 is you gotta make sure you rehearse with your actors before shooting. So one of the most time consuming thing is when you're shooting something and you're having to do the take over and over again just because the actors, forgot their lines or they forgot what they're supposed to do. So make sure you're spending time before you're actually shooting to rehearse with your actors. Last time when I was shooting my movie, we rehearsed on Zoom over and over again.
Dude, I delivered that line so good. Did you guys hear it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And we also rehearsed on location. We just didn't film because that would just waste time. And if you're gonna film over and over again, that's gonna eat up your hard drive space super fast. If you're gonna have 40 takes of one little dialogue scene. So just make sure every time before you're shooting a movie in pre-production you're always rehearsing with your actors and just making sure everyone has their lines memorized. They all have their actions memorized as well. So that's super important. Alright, so tip number 2 is make sure you get coverage when you're shooting a film. I know most high school filmmakers are only gonna have one camera to film, but you're gonna wanna shoot one scene in a bunch of different angles just so you have enough options when you're cutting it in post. So basically what coverage is you have the two actors or how many ever actors, and you have the master, the wide shot, the close-ups, the over the shoulders. So just get one scene from all these angles so you have options in editing, because sometimes you might mess up, let's say a wide shot, right, but you still can cut to an over the shoulder shot. So just make sure you have options. When I was shooting the reunion, we had so many different angles of the dialogue scenes. We had the wide shots, the close-ups, all these angles, so it's just easier when you're going to be editing it. Alright, tip number 3 is you gotta plan on shooting pickups. So when you're editing it, there's definitely going to be some angles that you're going to be missing or an action that's wrong, so just plan on having to go back to the location and reshooting it. When I was filming my movies, both movies, The Reunion and Blue Dusk, I had to go back another time to shoot more different angles just because the angles I had before were not good enough for the edit. And even though I shot coverage, there's always going to be these little angles that you're going to miss out on, or maybe the actors messed up something you didn't catch when you're filming. So just make sure you plan on going back to location and shooting pickup shots. Alright, tip number 4 is don't have too many cast members or crew members. So as a high school filmmaker, you're gonna want to you're not gonna have an insane amount of budget. You're not gonna have an insane amount of time to shoot these things. So keeping the crew and cast small allows you to have more freedom to shoot more angles or have more time to shoot different shots. Because if you have a lot of people, you're gonna have to work with everyone's schedules, and it's gonna be super hard to schedule. If you have 30 actors, it's gonna be super hard to have everyone's schedule work with the movie and make sure everyone can be on set on this date, and you have to film with all these people. 2 years ago when I was making Codenapped, it was super hard the first day because I got way too many people on set and it was just really chaotic. I was super frustrated with all these people, and I was the only cameraman.
Oh, who ripped the cheese?
Are we doing this thing?
Yeah.
Alright, ready? Hey, you guys are gonna be all following.
That was not me.
Alright, ready? 3.
That was my cord.
Wait, what do you mean? Guys, ready? No. 3, 2, 1, action.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Shut up!
I'm sorry.
Dude, that was so good.
And there was literally 10-15 actors, and it was just super hard to film. So make sure you keep the cast and crew small. Alright, so last but not least, tip number 5 is you have to make sure you learn from the masters. So before I told you to learn from YouTube videos, watching movies, but you have to learn from the masters of filmmaking. People like Christopher Nolan, Stanley Kubrick, Denis Villeneuve. All these people, you gotta watch their stuff and learn from them. Watch their Q&As, watch their statements on their films, and just learn from these masters. You can also check out Masterclass if you want. I made a video talking about if Masterclass was worth it, so click on it if you want to. Make sure you learn from the best of the best. That's how you improve. When I was making some of my movies, I was watching Masterclass or watching a lot of interviews with these directors just to learn more about filmmaking, and these definitely helped me a lot when I was making movies. Alright, so in conclusion, tip number 1, you gotta rehearse with your actors. Tip number 2, you have to get coverage. Tip number 3, plan on shooting pickups. Tip number 4, don't have an insane amount of actors or crew members. Tip number 5, learn from the masters. Anyways, I hope these tips help you in your filmmaking endeavors. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.